Welcome, card friends. This is episode 1 of the Sports and Trading Card Podcast, made for casual collectors. Today, Joe and I are taking it back, talking about how we got started in the hobby, why we created this show, and a few of our favorite hidden spots to find cards. Let's get into it. All right, welcome everyone.
Welcome.
The very first episode of Card Friends. We are pumped that you're here. Quick round of intros. My name is Kev from the Card Friends.
I'm Joe.
We're again pumped that you guys are all here. We are two lifelong friends. Is it going on like 25 years now? I want to say 20, 25 years, 2 decades plus. It's fair to say.
I forget how old I am, so I'll say yes. Sounds about right.
Grew up in the same town. Both tech guys by day. Both dads. And both still obsessed with cards. And we are the Card Friends. One thing we were thinking about is like we would talk to each other so much about in text threads and cards all the time. And Joe and I decided, hey, you know what? Instead of just catching up on the phone every 40 minutes every couple of weeks, let's start a podcast and talk about it live with everyone and build a little bit of community around this, because we know there are other card friends out there like you.
Yeah, we were looking for more card friends. We need more friends. Everyone needs more card friends.
Everyone needs more card friends. So we're not influencers, we're not dealers, we're not flippers, we're not crazy investors. We're just simply card friends, right? We're just real collectors who love the hobby.
Yeah, we're in it for the nostalgia, the camaraderie, the joy, just the fun of it, you know?
Totally agree. Let's talk about how we got started into collecting. I'll start. So I started definitely with baseball cards, because my mom actually did this thing where she bought various different sets every year since I was born in baseball. All in the junk wax era, but still, I still have some of those sealed boxes like many other people rolled up. But the earliest memory, like standout, I got a hit memory was when it was actually, I'll tell the story. So hear me out. I pulled up to KB Toy Works right near our local town, kind of near your house actually.
Yep.
And walked into KB Toy Works. Doesn't exist anymore, by the way. People are wondering like, what the heck is that store? Yeah, right. I walked in. I vividly remember there was like a Sega Saturn demo set up, but I blew past that and saw the big box of the booster packs of most Pokemon cards sitting on the counter, and I just grabbed a whole handful. At the time, we didn't even know what it's worth. That whole booster box now probably be worth like $200K down payment.
This was just you and your mom?
Just me and my mom. Yeah, just me and my mom.
So she was following you in, trying to like...
Yeah. I mean, Pokemon it was like all the hype with the Game Boy games for a lot, and obviously they released the card game, and like everyone's going crazy over them. I'm like the only guy at recess at the time that didn't have any to trade, so needed to pick up a couple packs. And I get back into her car. She's got a Saab 9.3. I haven't seen one of those cars in so long too, so this is real back in the day. And it was like the first or second pack. Vividly remember open up that red lizard, and I still have them right here to this day, sitting on my desk as a keepsake. Not in the greatest condition,
No.
But I do want to get it slab. But I'm so scared to send it off to grading because there's so much sentimental value. Like if this ever got lost in the mail, if this ever got stolen or whatever could happen to it, or got damaged in the mail, whatever. Like I hold so much sentimental value to it. It's so funny how vividly I remember that hit, because like. It's as vivid as like me, the day I got married, the day I had like my kids, right? And then obviously pulling this red lizard is something that I vividly remember doing and can imagine so clearly in my head. Did you have something like that happen to you at all, or?
Same exact store, actually. Same KB Toy Works. I remember there was one in the mall that was cool.
Yeah.
And then there was one also can vividly remember don't remember the exact day, but I can remember, this is my memory. So we're walking in, open the double doors, and then straight ahead is like just a bin, like a round little trash, almost like a trash can round, like cylinder, like the things at Walmart with like the $5 DVDs in it.
Yeah.
But it was full of Pokemon packs.
Oh my God.
Full of it. So looking back, I wish I could have like just dove into it. But I was on a budget back then with my paper route money, so I didn't have too much cash on me. So I grabbed, I think, 1 pack, maybe two packs at most, just like you.
I don't even know what the retail was back then. It was like
$2.99.
$2.99, right? Max.
$2.99. Yeah. And my very first pack, this is why I'm where I am today, I think, was a Charizard Holo.
Yeah.
And I knew, like, I went in there, hoping to get that. I had the red Game Boy game, so I was Team Charizard.
Oh, same here all day.
And like
Yeah.
that was, I think, the first place that we were aware of that carried the cards. And yeah, the rest is history. So like I've been chasing ever since.
Yeah, no, man. I mean, it's like the earliest, biggest hits, right? It's so funny that KB Toy Works must have been pumping out Charizards. I wonder how many people have a very similar story just like that, and they can remember every single detail vividly that still are doing it today.
Tell us yours. It's a tire store now, which is kind of sad.
Oh, is it really, man? R.I.P. Man, that place was awesome. A lot of good memories in that place. My mom would always take me there to kill time and grab toys. I'd love to feel the magic of walking back into one of those places again.
Right.
So, I mean, and post Pokemon obviously was the biggest, my biggest chase for a long time. And I remember the days of like trading at recess or lock a break, trading at lunchtime. I still got some cards in the binder that I made some probably strong deals. I'd like to see how that actually played out. I'd love to do the math of the deals that I made back in the day and see if it paid off to current date. Maybe that's something we'll do in a future episode.
Yeah.
But I got big into baseball cards. I think baseball growing up, especially being around Boston, was massive. So I've definitely got some cool hits. I've got some early Nomar Garciaparra collection, which didn't really age well, but personal, awesome to me.
What is that? Hall
Kind
of
of
Fame?
dropped off. Yeah, kind of dropped off after a little bit.
We love 'em.
Jeter, a lot of Jeter and A-Rod. Like I obviously love those three. I actually have a poster of Nomar, Jeter, and A-Rod all signed. It's probably one of the coolest things that I own, and I got all the signatures myself from the
I can
games.
see that
Yeah.
hanging up right behind you.
Yeah.
For
Like
future
I'm
episodes.
working on working on the studio, right? But then I took a little bit of a break, right? Like I think kind of like early 2000s, it kind of dipped off. Did you break at some point in time?
The worst possible time, yeah. Like 2000, right when our boy Tom came onto the scene. I think, going through like all my, the tubs of cards that I found in the attic, 98, 99, majority of them were like 94 through 97. There was a couple 2000s sprinkled in there, 2000s baseball and basketball mostly, but I did find some 2000s football cards, and I wasn't buying singles back then, so I guess I had a shot at a Brady rookie, but it wasn't any Bowman, so I don't know if he probably wasn't in I don't even think he was in all the sets.
I don't think so either. I mean, he was 6th round draft pick, right? So it's not like he was the marquee guy that year by any stretch of the imagination. I regret also too, like not collecting in the LBJ, LeBron James early days too, 03, right? So there's a lot of two goats that we miss out on when we dropped in those early 2000 years. Regret not having, I don't have any Kobe rookies. That's, no Kobe rookies either, man. No, I was real baseball back then. Not a whole ton of basketball, baseball and football for me early days. Now I'm all basketball, ironically enough.
You know what I wish? I wish like you could find packs and boxes of those without having to pay like just buku crazy money.
I see what you're saying. Like throw them back in.
Open those packs instead of these packs that we have today.
Yeah.
Or at least mix them in, but they're just like out of reach.
I know.
And I haven't seen them in the wild, so you would have to probably get them from eBay. And I'm like you, I don't like shipping or like something that I value that much. If I pay for it, then it goes in the mail. I get it's insured, but like it's not the money. It's like I want the cards. So, I'll pay for the insurance, but like you don't want it to be used.
A theme that we see in the trading card world is like they reprint sets. Are you saying like they could maybe they reprint sets? Like they do, they reprint like Magic the Gathering sets, they reprint Pokemon card sets, they reprint like Marvel card sets, literally reprint like Brady's rookie year sets. But you'll see a lot of no names. I don't know if that actually plays or not.
No one would know half the people.
Exactly. Yeah, so probably not. And press licensing is probably a nightmare tracking all those guys down to pay it or whatever. Yeah.
For perfect example, but this guy's well known. Like Jermaine O'Neal, Flair Metal, like I know him. I'd love to see him again. Jamal Mashburn, Glenn Robinson, Antoine Jameson. But like the kids should know those guys. Those guys. Maybe it's my yearn for more creative inserts.
I'm with you, man. There was something special about that. There was something special about that era, man. Like I say that all the time. Even like the sneakers at the time.
I think they put more love into it back then because it was after the junk wax era, so they were kind of past that. And you could tell even the card stocks were like bigger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thicker, higher quality, more textured surfaces. Not a lot of numbered cards, or if what those ones that were autographs a big thing back then. Now I feel like everyone just chases autographs that like normal cards are just nothing special.
Yeah, well, the thing is that people want the rarity, right? I feel like this is like the new stock market, right? And I think the rarity and the scarcity of an on-card auto or a sticker auto makes the card more special, right?
People want the rarity, but those are the people that are in it for the money, I feel like.
Yep, 100%.
I would also want the rarity too, like, because I love that.
I dipped out of cards for a while, as like you said you did, but you got into it back for me. So when did you get like quote unquote back into it? Was it before the pandemic, during, like when was your like renaissance of getting back into the card collecting? I know you said you went to the attic and found your cards, but like what was the time frame of that?
It was during the pandemic.
Okay. I think a lot of collectors are like that.
Yeah, so I mean, like everyone else, cabin fever and perusing YouTube. I can't remember exactly what triggered it. I think I remember, like buying a couple packs here and there, but I wasn't really committing to it. I was just kind of maybe testing the waters a little bit, and no real sparks, nothing crazy. But those cards that I did get, I just looked them up real quick and was like, all right, probably heard some rumblings or saw videos or post online about people, digging up their old collections in the attic and stumbling upon just, gems, just the most amazing stuff. And I could see the nostalgia and the joy, and I was like, I need that in my life. So went up into my attic and my parents' attic, and thank you for not throwing the stuff out. But I had like 3-4 tubs, and then tubs within the tubs, like little trays of cards. And then I had one binder that was like all bent out of shape, and cards were cooked because they were sitting up in the attic, and I think they got so hot that they just like curled up. Sad. But yeah, that was during the pandemic. Did that, got a sense of kind of like what the current landscape was like, and popped onto YouTube. I found Pac-Man, and I was watching Pac-Man open pack. It was like the best thing. And joined live, like people opening packs live on Instagram and YouTube. And at first I was like, what the heck? Like, how are people enjoying this? I need to be feeling it and like opening the packs myself. So then I was like, all right, Bleachers is still in business. I remember I popped down to and went in there and was like, holy crap. I was shocked by the price. I'm not going to lie. A little bit, it almost like deterred me, and then I had no idea what I was doing. So I ended up, not accidentally, but I grabbed some Prism draft pick. I think it was 2020 or 2019. And I knew, it was LaMelo and Ant's year and Big Wiseman. And so I was loving LaMelo. I was loving Ant. I wanted to get some rookie cards. Yeah. So I bought some hoops. I bought some Prism draft picks, and I think NFL Don Russ Blaster, and the rest is history.
Sticker shock for a new person getting back into it is very real. And like I'm telling you, I feel bad for people who are like,
oh my
just
God.
kids getting back into it, and their parents go in and they start to realize some of the prices. Number one, you can't find retail anywhere. Number two, if you go into the local card shops that upsell it or upmarket, like you might fall out of your seat. Like, think about how crazy some of the prices are for some of these, right?
I don't get how they get off charging so much, but then you look at what some people are willing to pay for those big hits.
Yeah,
and it's like that's, I think, what's ruining it for the rest of us. The everyday collector, Kev.
Yep. No, man, I know. All the card friends are getting raked over the coals.
So not to this isn't off topic, but the other day I was in the LCS bleachers, and kid was in there with his dad, and I think might have been the first time that dad took his kid to a card shop, and so he wasn't letting the kid look at anything behind the counter or even on the counter. It was the middle stuff, like the holiday packs and like the cheap stuff. So he was digging in and grabbing a bunch of Top Series 1 value packs, those white hanger packs. He grabbed I think they were 8 for like $20 or something like that. Like, he accidentally grabbed one more when he was getting wrung out. He realized that he had one more, and the dad did too, and they were like about to throw it back. They did throw it back. I was standing behind them. There was no one else in there, and I grabbed that pack and I put it on the counter with $2 because it was a $2 pack, and I go, you can't put that back, that's the lucky one. The lucky one. And that kid, I hope he pulled something sweet out of that pack.
Feel bad for these people. And I'll never forget Celtics game. 4 old friends from high school all go together. You and our buddy John both bring cards to the game. I say something like, well, you guys bring, like, grown men bringing cards to the game? Like, what are you doing? And you had a John Morant, Donruss insert Marvels. I think I still have the picture. Can I post that picture to our socials when we do it? Yeah, I'll definitely. Yeah, I'll post it to socials too, right? And I was kind of making fun of you guys, and I'm like, "What are you guys doing back in the cards?" And like, you guys both had it, and like, you looked at me like, "Dude, it's hopping right now," and I was like, "What?" And I went into it. Classic Kev move where I'm like making fun of you guys, and then I start to realize like, oh man, I'm all in this thing, and I start going crazy. Spent probably like hundreds, realistically thousands, but I'll say hundreds. Yeah, like I just remember going crazy on retail packs, going crazy on all sorts of boxes. I didn't even know what I was buying. If it said sports cards on it, I still got it as much as I possibly could, and just started going crazy down this crazy rabbit hole again, and started dragging all my inner circle along with me, and like bringing it, like anybody I could talk to, I'd be like, hey man, like it's hopping. Look at this. Right. So it's like classic move. Not gonna lie, it's very on brand with my personality for sure. But I feel like I've become more of like the card recruiter, getting people back into the hobby now these days.
Yeah, man. Healthy hobby. I remember that game. And I owe John a shout out because I remember I stumbled upon his card Instagram. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's when you create a separate Instagram. Like I don't even go on my regular Instagram anymore. I love my card Instagram. Last Pack Mojo. He was doing it before me. Yeah, he kind of springboarded me into it too. Although I don't know if I ever told him that. So John, thank you, brother. And also too, we didn't tell each other that we were going to bring those cards to the game. By the way.
Oh, you didn't? You guys just both did it naturally.
Well, I kind of knew we weren't going to be able to get an autograph, but you never know. And we weren't too far from the floor, and we were on that side. So at the time, Ja was like my favorite player. This is before firearm incidents and stuff. Yeah, I would have loved. And then I had brought a Desmond Bain Silver Prism rookie, beauty. And if I could get either of those autographed, it would have been awesome.
But one thing is I noticed very clearly as you started to get back into the hobby is just like the loud voices, right? Voices that are in your face all the time, whether it be like the hobby headline guys, whether it be breakers, whether it be just the hype guys, right? And it's just like I felt it was very difficult to find like a source of truth or just like a normal conversation in the shouting match that is the social media these days. And as I started, and you guys were into the breaking scene for a while, right? I know you were. I dabbled in it. I wasn't as hardcore as you guys, but what are the, like, for people who don't know what breaking is, like what are the pros and cons in your mind of breaking?
Lower entry point, like dollar amount wise. So a break, the name is, I believe it means breaking of the box, like you break the box open in the pack. So one person, say you, is sitting on 2024 NFL Prism, right? So Drake Mazier. How many teams are there in the NFL? 32.
And say that box is like $1,000. It just lets an individual 32 people get in there for like $31. Yeah.
Right. So if they do random teams, then you get 32 people to pay X amount. So it's the cost of the box divided by 32, and everyone gets an even shot at like the Commanders or the New England Patriots, and they randomize the draft org list. So this is all done on the screen so you can see it. Because at first I was a little nervous because you have no control over it. You're watching it through the screen on your phone, on the TV, on the computer. You want to work with reputable folks who have other forms of receiving payment than like Venmo. There's a lot of established breakers with true paywalls and protect your purchases and can get insurance if your cards get lost in the mail, but that's getting a little too far ahead. And then the breaker has usually either one or two cameras, and the cameras pointing down at the table in front of the breaker, and you have the box of cards there, it's sealed, and then they open it on the camera right in front of everybody's in the chat, so it's kind of cool. You can talk to one another, and they open the packs one by one, and usually they slow roll it like right in front of the camera, so it's very suspenseful. It's suspenseful. So during COVID, we would put it up on the big screen and watch it there, and oh my gosh, it got me through COVID, I'll say that. And if you pull a hit, time stops. The breaker will put it right in front of the camera, and then the whole chat is like congratulating you, and you're saying thanks guys, you're thanking the breaker, and it's just like it's a really good vibe. It's a lot of good people. And then at the end, the breaker will review all the hits, kind of go through what who got what, and they pack them up and they mail them to you. So it's very convenient if you live in an area where you might not have a card shop close by, have a little bit more control over the teams that you're interested in. If you only want to receive players from X team, or if you want to try to get some shots at some really high-end products at a lower entry point. Still will be, somewhat of a decent entry point, but you're not paying $1,000, $2,000. Heck, like some of these boxes, Kev, right, can get up
2, 5, 10, 20K, like crazy price points for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so some breakers will have a ton of products going at once, and I love the ones that they mix two different sports or multiple sports. You don't really see that too much, but when you do, I love it because I don't, I'm loving my home teams, but I just love sports. So I enjoy collecting cards and players from various teams. Like I'm big on Dylan Cruz right now. So,
but there's a dark side to breaking, right? There's with all the good like that you're describing, right? There comes the bad, and you're talking about loud voices, overcharging. If someone gets a massive hit, they pocket it, cancel the stream, right? Like there's some dark stories that definitely happen. Repackers, right? Like there's some things that can go wrong. So it's not all sunshine and rainbows, right? What we found is like the hobby seems like fragmented, right? Like you got all the people who have the loudest voices that are trying to sell you something, trying to hype something, trying to get you into one of these breaks that we've been talking about, trying to get you into the market itself, right? There's some good people. I'm generalizing, right? But there's a lot of loud voices out there. And we just wanted to recreate that feeling of like, hey, you're just in a local card shop, you're at a card show, you're just amongst friends. And what does it look like when we're just talking about cards? So we invented Card Friends, right? Pretty self-explanatory. Because like I think there's something special about just talking with casual collectors, helping educate newcomers, like people who are really enjoying it or new and like want to ask questions. Like this is a safe place where you can just ask those questions and there's no like judgment or elitism around it. Like that's Card Friends. That's why we got together and created this podcast for exactly that reason, to have a show that we want to actually listen to, and the conversations that we like to have. Like this is just us, like when we call each other up on the phone every other week, right? And catch up on things or go to the store together and pick up some cards.
Yeah, man. I mean, life's busy. We're both super busy, and the little free time that I have, I want to spend it with people that like the same stuff I like. I think it's fun. The name kind of came together organically because like if our wives ask us what we're doing, hanging out with our card friends this weekend, sorry, we're going to a show. We're going to go make some trades.
My wife might roll her eyes when I say my card friends, but that's okay. I'm trying to slowly get her into the hobby a little bit. I can tell you what, my daughter is definitely into the hobby for sure. We were at the Northeast Card Expo, and she is loving the Pokemon scene. That's one thing I saw at the Northeast Card Expo, predominantly a sporting event. But I saw a lot of Pokemon card tables popping up at the Northeast Card Expo, which is kind of cool because I'm back into that scene as well.
It's the next generation of collectors.
Yep, breeding them,
and it's cool. I mean, physical. In a digital world where everything feels so online, and it's something to bond over, something to just keep you busy. I find organizing the cards, and you and I both, it took me longer than it should have, but eBay, it's just listing and trading the cards on eBay, selling the cards on eBay. It's just a healthy hobby. That's what I say.
I like that.
As you younger folks, as you get older, you're going to realize that, you want to spend the free time that you have with something that's going to bring you joy. And for me, for you, it's cardboard. I mean, it's collecting. At the end of the day, it's collecting, I think. Yeah, man. Love my card friends.
Same, man. Same. And
good people.
So our goal, just like we do, instead of calling each other and catching up on cards, we'll do weekly episodes, 30, 40 minutes, quick episodes that we talk about. Will we talk about headlines? Yeah, of course we will. If there's major headlines that we want to talk about in news, well, of course we'll talk about that. Will we dip into some hardcore topics? Yeah, we definitely will. But we're not going to be those investor types. We're not going to be the ones that are talking like solely about the money, like more personal stories, more collection talk, more weird finds. Obviously some nostalgia, as you can all see here from what we've been talking about. And we'd love to get some guests like you on the phone and bringing you guys into the podcast as well. And maybe it's just some local card shops just to dive into some of those guys and how they think about it, who've been here and have tons of experience that can both help newcomers and share their experiences with us. And they're all card friends.
I want to get my cousins. They'll make good guests. We're in a group chat on Instagram, and all we do is talk about cards, and I love it.
Hey, better the healthy hobby, like you said, than doing something that's unhealthy, right?
And not just a hobby; it's an investment too, right? Like, let's not forget that.
Yeah, exactly. However you're gonna sell it to yourself, right?
No. I mean, I guess it's not something that you spend your money on and it just like poof.
Yeah,
Like you
fair.
still have it and
Yeah.
it holds value. At the very least, each one of those cards is worth, 10 cents. And
Yeah. No, I
in
know. I'm
case of
kidding.
emergency, you can dump it for ashtray money.
Yeah.
But,
100%.
you know,
100%.
we never want that to happen. But yeah, I mean, is that how I justify it to myself, Cal?
Hey, we're all good salesmen, right? So it's like you're clearly selling yourself. No, but I totally agree, man. There's some wasted money, of course, but I have fun doing it, right? So like most entertainment, sometimes, like you said, just you do it, entertainment, poof, it's gone. Maybe you get a memory, which is nice sometimes, but this is something tangible that you can hold forever, theoretically, right? So I think it's a very healthy hobby. Just to give people a preview of like some of the funness that we'll do on the show, like one thing I was thinking about the other day, I was popped into a local grocery store near me, just doing errands with my daughter. And I walk in and they have the little Easter setup, like of Easter gifts. And sure enough, you got Prism blaster boxes, you got Prism value
Sweet.
packs. Yeah, you got Mosaic value packs, Absolute cards. Dude, they had a whole Easter setup, and I'm like, this
It
is
was
got
for Easter?
yeah.
Easter baskets?
No, it was literally with all the Easter gifts, like right as you walk in.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Oh, that like random aisle that has like
yeah, yeah.
toys in it and usually has like magazines too.
This was as soon as you walked in, and I was like, "Whoa, this is kind of nice," but it was kind of hidden a little bit. And I was always like, so it gave me the ideas like, where's like the most pleasantly surprised or weirdest places or secret stashes that you found cards at?
I'm going to Big Y after this. I found a hidden LCS somewhere north of the city. LCS local card store, and they had this place was dusty, like old, which is great. Yeah, there was dust on some of the boxes, which maybe is a good sign. I don't know, but they had a box of 2000. It was like Pacific or something. The cards were all white, and I was with my wife, and I was like, "Holy crap!" I'm like, I don't know if they know what they have. I was like whispering to her, I'm like, 2000 football, like that's Brady's rookie year.
Yeah.
It was a nice lady working there. I think they mostly sold Pokemon.
Yeah.
And I was like, could I have I think there was 6 packs in there. And I was like, can I have like I'll take 3. She grabbed them. And I was like, you know what? I'll take the other 3 too. Did that, dude. I thought I was making out like a bandit. But I made the mistake of ripping them before I looked up the checklist, and Brady wasn't even in it.
Oh, really? He's not even in. Oh, I
He wasn't
never
even in
even
the
thought of
set.
that. Damn. So you just assumed, yeah. I think we're so conditioned these days, right? Because all the cards, like everyone's in all the sets, right? And there's too many sets and tons of products that you just kind of assume going back that it was always like that, but clearly it wasn't.
It makes sense now, yeah. But yeah, that was probably I think the most random place that I've found packs.
So some secret places for me, and these some are not so secret, but like people realize like some of the little toy shops and bookstores that don't have that have cards. Like Five Below is one for me. That's like kind of that's my like sneaky little one that I
Barnes
like.
and Noble.
Yeah, but so yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like Barnes and Noble, right? A lot of people just like think bookstores, but they are stacked with cards, and
Yeah,
that's such a good excuse. Hey, wife, I'm going to take out the kids. They'll run around. They love Barnes and Noble, so run around the little toy section, and I just grab some cards before I go and stash them away, right? So it's like a little fun experience with the family, but also get to pick up some cards.
How long did it take your wife to figure out what you were doing? It took mine about 3 trips, I think. It's like, why do you keep wanting to go to? I don't even read books.
Probably as soon as my daughter started
Barnes
talking.
and Nobles. Oh, I need some new pens, or I need a new notebook, or I want to see if they have this book on.
Yeah, as soon as my daughter started talking, she's like, "Dad, are we going to get the cards today?" And I'm like, "Sure, honey, yes." And but of course, my wife is there. She caught on pretty quickly. That was exactly what we were doing. Why we're going to Barnes and Noble so much.
I love it. You pointed out that they carry Beckett. I didn't even know that was still a thing.
I didn't know that was a thing either. Yeah,
and I guess I didn't. That they were in there. Me and you we went there and sketched this whole thing out.
Yeah,
where our first business meeting was.
We opened mega boxes. Naturally enough. Again, 2 for 1. But actually, you know what that just made me think of is like we opened up you said where you opened up cards in the Outer Banks, and also we opened up cards at Barnes and Noble. It made me think, what's like the funnest place or randomest place you've ever opened up cards before?
What's yours? I have one.
So I had this little bit of like a streak, like we talked about Instagram accounts with my account cards with Kevs. I would bring a pack to every sporting event that I would go to, and I
Oh
would
yeah,
just
I know
go and
you
I'd
did
open
that.
up the packs at the sporting event. I don't know. I thought it was kind of a cool thing to do is to open up packs at a sporting event. I think
Yeah,
they should put card stores in every stadium across the country. I think that it should be part of the sports going experience. I think it's fun. Memorabilia could be a cool little take home from a game, and I think we should normalize that experience.
they should give them to you on the way out, or it should be on the way out, because those who indulge in adult beverages at the game, they might open those packs and drop them or
Throw them all over the
bend
place.
them.
Yeah. They probably don't want to clean up the mess.
I would just hate to see that.
Yeah.
So if it was something that you hit on the way out, like in the airport terminals, like that dang aisle in any store that, or when you go to cash out and you got to walk through that gauntlet of like all the little trinkets.
So I like that. I like that idea. It's like a keepsake. Like you get to take it home with you at the game. So it's like you take your family to the game. You have a blast. You get a pack to go, and then you get to open up the cards the next day. That's awesome. You're continuing the
Yeah. Or in the
experience.
car. Yeah.
Or in the
As long
car.
as
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
you know how at the Garden they have that one concession area where you can just go in and like take stuff off the shelves and like walk out.
Yep.
Somehow it charges you.
Something like
So
that. Yeah.
I know you're a little more technical than I. When you're exiting a stadium, I mean, there's tons of opportunity, and there's so many stretches of where you have to walk with crowds and stuff. And if they had the packs there or a variety of product, and you could just take it off the shelf and it would charge you for it, that would be what's up. That's a business idea right there.
I like it.
But I think,
Vending machines. They got vending machines. Yeah, they got vending machines. Yeah.
well, they put one in my supermarket, but it's a Pokemon one.
Oh, okay. Okay. Those are like
It was out of order.
those are all of our socials these days, like people fighting and calling out scalpers and stuff like that, or just
They're cool looking.
they are cool looking, but they're a little controversial in the sense of like scalpers just roll up, they know when they get restocked, and they sit there and they clear the whole thing out, so there's like nothing to even
Really?
buy. Yeah, man, it's like that's the stuff I hate about the
That's
hobby.
sad.
Same.
I remember that, dude. I used to get so. I remember I would like comment on posts and say just like me and you, can you leave some for the kids?
Leave some for the
Like-
rest of us, the card friends.
Leave some for the rest of us. Leave some for the card friends.
Seriously.
Yeah, people filling up pallets. Like ugh,
I know.
it's very very unfortunate.
It really is. But I'm interested to hear from the audience. Like where's your strangest place that you've opened up cards, or funnest places that you've opened up cards, or where are like your secret spots? If you want to share them, I mean, definitely don't share them if you're not comfortable. You want to keep it to yourself. But if you feel like sharing them, definitely share it with at the Card Friends on all socials.
Please.
So
We're always looking for new honey holes, secret spots. I think Ace Hardware is another one. I don't know if that's like a national wide brand, but it's like a hardware store. They sell cards.
I actually didn't know that. That's actually really cool. I'll have to check the Ace Hardware out.
Yeah.
See, those are like the little secret spots. Like I said too, Five Below is my little secret spot.
Best Buy carries them now.
I know. I saw that too.
Pretty regularly.
I get really excited when I see cards in places I'm not expecting. Is that like, it's like, I feel like I'm doing something I'm not supposed to. It's like, oh, wow, look at this. Like they have cards here.
It feels good to be able to pay MSRP,
That's the other thing too. If you can find them anywhere, I think that's part of like half the joy is like stuff is cleared out these days so much. So when you actually find something in general at the places you're supposed to be finding them, amazing. When you find them at a place that you're not supposed to be finding them, that's one of my little secret fun things that happen to me.
Oh yeah. I'm dying to get down to that flea market because I remember I used to buy Magic and Pokemon cards there when I was younger.
Yep.
And so I know they have a couple vendors that sell cards. So one weekend we should do a trip down there. It's not a bad drive. I think it's like under an hour.
Love it. And you can find some hidden gems at those flea markets for sure.
All right. Thank you everybody for kicking this off with us.
Thank you so much, everyone. Yeah, thank you for kicking this journey off with us. And we're just getting started, right? This is just the first episode of Card Friends. We have plenty more in store. We want to drop weekly episodes every Wednesday with you and talk to the community a lot. So if you guys have some thoughts, some questions, some newcomer questions, please feel to hit us up on socials and engage with us, and we'll be sure to answer them and talk about that on the show. Next episode, we're going to talk about some headlines, some trending cards, some new fun segments like we just did, and we're going to answer some newcomer questions that we recently received from some of our card friends and share with you, our other card friends. So follow us on all socials, the Card Friends on all platforms. Subscribe to the podcast, any podcast app that you're listening to, whether it be YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or the rest, and share the show with your card friends. Because again, at the end of the day, like we always say, we're all card friends here.
We're all card friends.
Catch you on the next one.
Peace.